Tonight, what's first for Toowoomba's new MP?
A call for offenders to be named and shamed.
An unwelcome wake-up call for a Harristown resident.
And how locals are cashing in on the Pokemon craze.
Serving the Darling Downs and beyond, this is 7 Local News with Rob Brough and Joanne Desmond.
Good evening, thanks for joining us.
Good evening.
David Janetsky will be the member for Toowoomba South after last Saturday's by-election. Independent candidate Di Thorley officially conceded defeat this morning.
The grandfather of murdered Gatton teenager Jade Kendall is calling for violent offenders to be named and shamed in their communities. A day of awareness walk has been organised for next month to take a stand against violence and bullying.
A Harristown woman had a nasty surprise this morning when a car crashed into her house. A P-plater was driving along Farquharson Street when he collided with a ute around 8 a.m.
Around 60 jobs will be cut from local abattoir Beef City as of next week. Meat processing company JBS says the amount of cattle being processed at Beef City will decline by 15%.
A new action group has been launched in Toowoomba to help stop domestic violence. The task force will bring together different services, making it easier for victims to find help.
Some of the world's top astronomers are in Toowoomba for a special event at the University of Southern Queensland. The NASA scientists will spend the next 3 days shedding light on some of life's biggest mysteries.
Victoria Cross recipient Ben Roberts-Smith has helped launch a social media campaign to mark 100 years since the Battle of Fromelles. July 19, 1916 is known as the worst day in Australian military history, with more than 5,500 casualties in just one dark night on the Western Front.
Pokemon Go is the interactive mobile game that's taking the world by storm. But in addition to its entertainment value, the app has the potential to become a money-maker for local business.
And ahead in 7 News tonight, bypass construction to close part of a major highway.
And time to start pruning your roses. Penny McKinlay has the best advice. Nice having you with us on 7 News. Well, you can expect some delays on one of the city's busiest roads over the next 2 weeks. Nexus will close the left-hand lanes of the New England Highway near Mount Kynoch at different times during the day.
Toowoomba's basement soup kitchen has been given some much-needed help. Today, the Harvey Black Group donated $10,000 towards the group's annual sleep-out.
As winter sets in, pruning and rejuvenating rose bushes will be keeping gardeners busy. Penny McKinlay has all the tips and tricks for what can be a prickly chore.
Now it's rose pruning time. The last 2 weeks in July, get started. This is a cutting grown floribunda, so I can go to it, grab it. You don't have to be real smart. Just get an outward going bud if you can. Cut him back. Nice sharp pair of secateurs. And that's what makes a garden so good. This is Penny McKinlay for 7 News.
Certainly chopping those back, Penny. Only kidding. Firebirds, Nate, through to the semis, mate.
Yeah, that's right, Bruffy. And last night's win means their Darling Downs duo are one step closer to playing in Queensland's 4th straight grand final. We'll have more on that next. And the Brisbane Lions' newest star drops by to help out the next generation of female footy players. Welcome back to 7 News. A couple of budding young Aussie rules footballers have been treated to a special visit from Brisbane Lion Taylor Harris. Now, Harris is the first signing for the Lions women's team in next year's new national competition and believes some Darling Downs girls will be joining her there down the track. Allara's Laura Geitz has once again led the Queensland Firebirds to another ANZ Championship semi-final after downing the New South Wales Swifts 63-52 in last night's Australian Conference final. Well, the rain threatened, but it wasn't enough to deter more than 200 riders from Jubilee Park for the final round of the National Mountain Bike Enduro Series over the weekend. Competitors were vying for a spot to join local legend Jared Graves in the World Series in Europe. That's some of the spectators there as well, like the Tour de France, right up close to the action. Be careful.
Looks like fun, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
All right, stay with us. Livio's in shortly with all the weather details for us.
G'day, Livio Regano with tonight's weather. Conditions are settling nicely for the southern half of Queensland at least. A bit of stubborn clouds still lingering in a few places, but the sun's finally coming out and it's nice and warm out there. The rest of the week looks safe enough to step outside without fear of getting wet. Temperatures today across the Darling Downs. Dalby had a range of 9 to 25 degrees. Up on the Granite Belt, Stanthorpe even got to 23. That's very warm. Toowoomba also 23 degrees and Warwick a range of 9 to 25. Now on the satellite loop, the last of the cloud has still yet to clear. You can still see the upper level low over northwest Queensland, producing broad-scale uplift of moist air. It's still showering basically right along the tropical and central coasts. Some severe thunderstorms this afternoon across the tropical interior. As we move further south, we're getting a bit of cloud, but without the rain. And of course, once we get to the Darling Downs and southeast coast, it's been a lovely day. Now today's chart. Pretty waffly sort of pattern. Still a good southeasterly in the tropics, but with this weak high pushing away, the wind is really dropping off across the southern half of the state, resulting in quite a lot of early fog this morning. Tomorrow's chart, we'll still get showers along the coast, mainly around the tropical half, just a bit of cloud further south as the isobars keep opening up and the wind is light. Could get some early fog again over the southern parts. And then on the outlook chart, by this stage the upper low is completely broken up. We're moving into a stable pattern. Just a couple of showers in the tropics, but generally across the state it'll be mostly fine weather with light winds under this high pressure ridge. Now the latest from the Weather Bureau, Darling Downs and Granite Belt forecast. Bit of cloud tomorrow after some early fog. Dalby 10 up to 24 degrees, Gundawindi 23, Toowoomba 20, Warwick 10 to 23. The southeast coast, again partly cloudy after some fog. Gatton 25 degrees, Ipswich 26 and Brisbane 14 to 25. Looking ahead for Toowoomba, generally pleasant for the next several days. Bit of cloud here and there but no rain. Temperatures remaining well above average. For Warwick, same trend, very warm for the next week. Goodness me, we're looking at up to 23 degrees on Friday. A subtle cool change for the weekend, but still warm. Dalby, same sort of thing, even warmer, of course, because of the flatter plains. Up to 25 degrees on Friday, that's the warmest, and a very subtle cool change after that. And that's all for tonight. Pleasure to have your company as always, and thanks for watching 7 Local Weather. I'll be back tomorrow with more on the latest. Hope you can join me then. Meantime, enjoy the winter that never came. Now it's back to the team.
Lovely. Thanks for that, Livio. And that's 7 News for this Tuesday night. Thanks very much for your company.
We have the replay, of course, over on 7-2 in a moment. So if you missed anything, you can catch it there. From the team, see you tomorrow. Good night.
Good night.
It's 7 o'clock.